Right now at noon, after more than 50 years, a local hero is returned home.
We've got pop-up storm chances as we head through the afternoon and over the next several days. Take a look at that and when the fall temperatures return coming up.
Plus, Missouri Southern turns a new page as the Spiva Library reopens.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
And this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. New at noon today, a deadly crash shuts down Highway 43 in McDonald County. Investigators say 18-year-old Lance Stockhauser tried to pass another car and hit an oncoming vehicle head-on just south of County Highway O yesterday afternoon. A man and woman from Anderson, Missouri, both 60 years old, died at the scene. Several others were rushed to hospitals by air and ground ambulance. Stockhauser was arrested for DWI and charged in connection with the deaths. The highway was closed nearly 5 hours before reopening that night. Also new at noon, local fire departments respond to a Woodson County house fire that destroyed a 3-story home. According to the Woodson County Emergency Management, dispatchers with the Woodson County Sheriff's Office received a report of a structure fire in the area of 50th Road and Fox Road yesterday. When responders arrived, a 3-story wood frame home was fully engulfed in flames. No one was inside. The house is considered a total loss and the cause of the fire is under investigation. A Newton County man faces arson charges 5 months after a house fire destroyed a home in Wentworth. Justin Thomas Crouch was taken into custody Saturday to face second-degree arson charges. The April 11th fire completely destroyed the wood-framed home. The Newton County Prosecutor's Office filed the charges and issued a warrant for Crouch's arrest. An airman killed in action in the Vietnam War has finally been returned home after more than 50 years. Technical Sergeant Willis Roselle Hall went missing in action in March of 1968. Saturday, he was buried in Altoona, Kansas. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
An airman that was killed in action during the Vietnam War has returned home for a proper burial. Sergeant Willis Roselle Hall was killed on a Vietnamese mountainside in an attack on Lima Site 85.
He was missing in action 57 years ago in 1968, and his information really didn't get unclassified until in the 80s, 1983, and that's when we were really able to know his story, and my Aunt Mary was able to tell her story and even know about where he was missing in action. And later on, over the years, she really fought to find answers.
DNA analysis helped with the identification of the fallen hero. After 50 years, the hope of recovering Willis seemed lost, but the family never gave up, especially Willis's wife, Mary. She passed away before getting to see her husband's return.
Even though she passed away, she knew someday he would be found, and next to her, on her gravestone, his name is there. And he finally gets to be buried next to her.
Surrounded by the embrace of family, friends, and community, Sergeant Hall was buried with military honors, and the family finally gets the closure they were looking for.
We just are amazed that the military and first responders showed up the way they did, and it really solidifies never give up. We live in an amazing country. This should give us hope about the United States of America and the country we live in, and it just brings honor back to my Uncle Willis.
Reporting in Wilson County, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to the DPAA, Hall's name is inscribed on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C., along with the other fallen soldiers from this attack. Let's take it on over now to Chris Warner for a look at today's forecast.
We had a few isolated showers this morning across parts of southeast Kansas, drying out. This was a look from earlier this morning from downtown Pittsburgh, looking pretty good out there. Partly cloudy skies is the thing. So here's where we started yesterday, 9 degrees above normal, and we made it to 92, almost a full 10 degrees, so 9 across the board here. Not quite to record levels, and we're not expecting record levels, thank goodness, but still well above average for this time of year, and that trend does continue. It was that way through the weekend. If you didn't get out this weekend, you didn't miss much. It was very hot, and it will continue to be through Wednesday. And then things will start to improve a little bit for us. Pop-up storms again should start around 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, run through 7. But reminder, with pop-up storms, majority of us will remain dry. It'll be partly cloudy, low 80s by 7, partly cloudy skies through the evening, and overnight hours back to the low 70s by 11. We've got rain chances from now through Sunday, and we have a cold front coming that'll bring our temperatures back closer to normal. Details here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Ozark Center Crisis Services and Freeman Health were at the Joplin Greenhouse over the weekend to save some lives. The event is called the Caravan of Hope, an initiative rolling through the Joplin area during Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Customers had the opportunity to write messages of hope for struggling victims, while mental health professionals offered advice on how to stay safe during intense situations.
Suicide is a leading cause of death, but it is preventable. And we lose an American every 11 minutes to suicide, which is more than car crashes and homicides. So the message is to bring hope.
Now, according to Freeman Health, Missouri currently ranks 16 in the nation for suicides. Healthcare professionals encourage anyone to text or dial 988 if they're experiencing thoughts of suicide. The annual Walk to End Alzheimer's took place in Joplin over the weekend at Mercy Park, with 200 people participating to help raise awareness and provide support to families impacted by the disease.
I think some of the misconceptions that, basically that people are forgetful. It's really beyond that. It's a neurological condition. It's a disease. Alzheimer's and dementia is a disease for the most part. I mean, there's other forms of dementia that might be kind of short term, but predominantly we deal with people that have a progressive neurological condition, either through dementia or Alzheimer's.
Officials say more than 2,500 people in Jasper County have Alzheimer's. Inspiva Library at Missouri Southern is turning the page on some much needed renovations. The library had to close its doors all summer long to make these changes, but as KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, the new renovation will allow students much more space.
It's made it as such an open space. It's welcoming. It's really a place where students can take their own little area.
Patty DeArma is the library administration assistant for Missouri Southern. She says the library finally got some long-awaited renovations after it was shut down all summer. She says things look a little better than before.
The old one was welcoming, but it was very packed and busy.
Packed and busy is exactly what Library Director James Capacci wanted to put a stop to.
We're standing now, we used to have a lot of more shelving with our bound periodicals, but we moved that collection upstairs. So one goal was to make the library more spacious for students.
And with the online presence that we have as well, we didn't need all of the things that we used to have in the library.
Capacci says the last renovation to the library was between 2000 and 2001.
When the renovation project started earlier this summer, the carpet was 24 years old and was worn and starting to tear in many places.
He also said the building also needed some new paint, but some things stayed the same.
This mural behind me is of George A. Spiva. The library is named after him. He was a Joplin philanthropist.
Both Capacci and DeArma says this is a place where students will thrive.
With the new paint job, the new flooring, it looks modern, it looks updated. Also, it's more spacious.
Hopefully students will love the new upgrades just as much. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KO.
The library staff celebrated the new renovations with free treats for students. And coming up, top Republicans pay tribute to Charlie Kirk. We'll take a look at how lawmakers are also calling on leaders to turn down the heated political rhetoric. And later, we're making buffalo cauliflower in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, as remembrances continue for murdered political activist Charlie Kirk, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they are concerned about their safety and that it's time to address the radicalization of people online. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Supporters, activists, and top Republicans gathered at the Kennedy Center Sunday to remember Charlie Kirk. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke about his influence on young conservatives and on her political career.
Every time I take that podium, I will think of Charlie Kirk. I will remain inspired by his courage and his conviction, and I will continue to speak the truth as Charlie did so well.
President Trump confirmed he will attend Kirk's funeral Sunday at Arizona's football stadium in Glendale and blamed the radical left for political violence.
If you look at the problem. The problem is on the left. It's not on the right, like some people like to say on the right. The problem we have is on the left.
But House Speaker Mike Johnson called on elected leaders to turn down the rhetoric.
There are some deranged people in society, and when they see leaders using that kind of language, so often now, increasingly, it spurs them on to action. I think this could be a turning point, frankly, to use Charlie's term, for the country, and I hope that's true.
CBS News has confirmed the Trump administration is asking Congress for $58 million to increase executive and judicial branch security following Kirk's assassination and supports more funding to protect lawmakers.
We're keenly aware that there are people that are irrational, that do irrational acts.
Republican Senator James Lankford and Democrat Chris Coons appeared together on Face the Nation to call for less divisive and more respectful dialogue.
The internet is an accelerant. It is driving extremism in our country. It's driving us apart, left and right.
The senators also want Congress to revisit proposed legislation to protect young people from dangerous online content. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Buffalo wing craze continues with a new go-along that your gang will absolutely love. Really, no bones about it.
We've got those rain chances continuing into the upcoming weekend and a chance to cool back down. Details when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on what is going to be another hot day for us across the region. Let's take one more look outside from earlier this morning. Downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty good. We had a few isolated showers in southeast Kansas. Those, of course, done. And we've got a little pause before we start to see an opportunity for some isolated pop-up showers and storms. They're very stray by 2. Better chances start building in after 3. And then from 3 to 7, some of these isolated pop-up showers and storms out there. Most of us, as you can see, will be dry. And as we go through the evening and overnight, we've got partly cloudy skies, and that'll be the case rolling into our Tuesday as well until we get again into the afternoon. Say about 2 o'clock or so, we'll have these pop-up storm chances return to the area. Now, there are some here in parts of southeast Kansas, but the better chances, as you can see on Future Track, are along and to the east of the 69 corridor. And this is, again, this is an analogy. This is an example. It's not an exact count, okay? Say we get like 2 to 4 pop-up storms today. Our chances tomorrow are still for pop-up storms, but instead of 2 to 4, we could get 8 to 12. So it still means most of us are dry, most of us don't see rain, but it just means that there will be a few more of these pop-up storms, and they could hang on a little later, maybe as late as 8, 9 o'clock out there. But again, no severe weather is expected with any of this activity over the next few days. Now, if that changes, we'll certainly let you know, but at least at this point, some good news. Nothing on the long range with our storm chances screaming severe threat at all at this time. So that's good. We certainly want to keep it that way. Now, Wednesday gets a little more interesting. We start kind of playing, for some of you folks at home, you remember playing Pong on the Atari, or more so, better example is maybe tennis. We kind of do that with these thunderstorm chances for Wednesday. It gets a little more interesting. We have a cold front approaching that'll arrive late Wednesday heading into Thursday. That's what's going to help us. Ahead of it, we get some isolated to scattered showers and storms as early as 9 o'clock in the morning Wednesday into southeast Kansas. These continue through the lunch hour, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. As these fizzle out and die, look what happens off to the east. Almost simultaneously, we get new pop-up shower and thunderstorm development east of 69, mainly into southwest Missouri by 2, 3 o'clock. Lasts through the evening. So here we are at 5, still fairly isolated. Most of us were dry with that activity. Most of us will be dry with this activity. And then as it fizzles out, almost again simultaneously, we get additional scattered showers and storms beginning to push in to parts of southeast Kansas as we head into late Wednesday and into early Thursday morning. So the Future Track, the clock ran, but as you notice, the rain stopped because it doesn't have enough data to go that far out because the short range one is what we use frequently for those short-term forecasts. But these storms not expected to be severe either, but they could continue across the area overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning as that cold front pushes through, which will help bring our temperatures back to normal. Not today, though. Second summer continues. Low 90s. Winds will be calm or light and variable. And again, an isolated pop-up storm or 2. Partly cloudy through the evening and overnight. Still above average. Back into the upper 60s, maybe even a couple of low 70s. Tomorrow, the low 90s return. So do those pop-up storm chances, as we discussed. Winds expected to be calm. We'll have the rain chances, too, from now through Sunday. But take a look. Yeah, I know our We're not going to be near average. In fact, Friday looks to be our closest to normal day, but our temperatures at least finally get out of the 90s and start floating around the low to mid 80s as we head into the second half of this week and the start of next week. So just a couple more days of the summer heat and we'll get back to those fall-like conditions. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, stick around. We're making buffalo cauliflower in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today, Howard is heating things up with a delicious recipe you can make anytime. He's making buffalo cauliflower in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
A few months ago, I was having lunch at the original birthplace of buffalo wings, the Anchor Bar in Buffalo. While I was eating, I was thinking not only how popular these spicy wings are, but how much we love anything cooked with the taste of buffalo wings. Everything from soups to dips, even side dishes. To make this one, all we do is toss a head of cauliflower that we cut into florets with some oil and a little salt and pepper. Once that's mixed, onto a baking sheet it goes, and we'll bake it off until the edges start to get crispy. Don't be afraid to let them sort of caramelize, because that's what gives these a ton of flavor. While that cooks, we'll whip up a sauce to coat these with, which is the same sauce that Teresa and Frank whipped up in their Anchor Bar kitchen some years ago. Once the cauliflower is done, all we do is toss it with the buffalo sauce. Then onto a platter they go, topped with some crumbled blue cheese, and we have the taste of buffalo wings in a side dish that is second to none. You gotta go online and get the recipe for what we call buffalo cauliflower so you can be armed with a new go-along that your gang will go along with. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for a classic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, again, some pop-up storm chances from today through Sunday, and we might get a few better chances from Wednesday night into Thursday with a cold front approaching. Temperatures staying well above average through Wednesday into the low 90s. That cold front doesn't get us all the way back to normal, but does bring us a lot closer as we fall back into the low to mid 80s.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, coming up tonight at 5, you've probably noticed your grocery bill is higher lately, especially when it comes to beef. Still, many Americans aren't ready to cut meat out of their diet. We're going to take a look at why. Plus, with concern over TikTok being removed in the U.S., local content creators weigh in on how it will impact them and a look at challenges foster kids face during the school season. You can join us for those stories and a whole lot more tonight on KOAM News at 5. That's the news for now. Have a great rest of your day.